casual side of hustle, old school hangout tonight from the opposite camera angle, the way we used to do all the time. Don't really have too much planned. A couple things to share, but mostly just hanging out tonight. So looking forward to hearing from all of you, hearing how your week is going. We're gonna do ask me anything about side hustle and gig delivery. So any questions that you have regarding food delivery, grocery delivery, eBay, Amazon, we're going to do our best to answer them for you and take on whatever it is that you have. So I'm not necessarily planning on hanging out super late tonight, but we'll see how it's going. How's it going, Lisa? So going old school, kicking old school with the vertical live stream from home tonight. So I have had a we've had a sick one pretty much all week. So it has totally turned my week upside down. So let's see what day is today. Today is Wednesday, right? Yeah. So I stayed home with the sick one on Monday and Tuesday, and then she went to school today, but is not feeling great, so might not be going back. Okay, awesome, Lisa. We'll dive into eBay here in just a little bit. We'll I'll actually go on my computer and just kind of do all that. I don't can't screen share easily tonight, but I'll just kind of see some of the basics on that. So yeah, we'll dive in. I'll at least do some basics of eBay. So with all of the sick kid stuff, that's what I've done actually this week is I have just been diving into eBay and piles and piles of stuff that I've needed and wanted to get listed. And I was like, okay, instead of just sitting around and moping or doing that, I'm going to be productive. And so been probably put up a couple hundred eBay listings this week. Most eBay listings I've made in a really long time. And that's why I titled tonight's stream Pivot Fast. Pivot Fast. So I've been up until this week, I've been doing a $200 every day in September challenge that I was taking on. But once I had to deal with sick kids, that went out the window for a couple of days. And I wanted to, in the past, when my plans would get thrown out the window, I would just tend to freeze. I wouldn't know what to do. I wouldn't have a plan. And so I wanted to this time say very directly, how's it going, Caleb? Hanging out here tonight, just doing it, ask me anything. So we're gonna talk some eBay stuff. If you got any other questions or stuff, do that. Tornado, absolutely like and subscribe. How's it going? Thanks for joining in. So I wanted to be instead of this whole idea of like, oh, this my goal of $200 every day in September has gone out the window. Woe is me, I can't do anything. You know, nothing's working for me. I instead say, okay, I'm going to pivot. This was the plan, but the plan, when the plan goes out the window, you need to figure out what you're doing quicker because I've always struggled with that. And so this week was a perfect opportunity for me to really push myself on when the plan goes out the window, how quickly can I turn? And that's kind of a question I'd ask everybody watching too is when you have your plan and this is what your ideal day or week or month or whatever it is, well, that's what it looks like. And then all of a sudden you can't do that, then what happens with that? Are you able to pivot quickly to the next thing, to the next opportunity, to the next money making thing? Caleb, yes. So we'll hit eBay hard tonight because that's where I've been living. I've been living eBay. So we'll get there in just a minute. And so if you've got specific eBay questions, great. If not, I'll just kind of give an overview of what I know with it. So awesome. Hey, it's just understanding how auctions work. This kind of it's good to just have that basic knowledge in the first place. So I pivoted, and instead of just moping and laying around and whining and complaining and not doing anything, I instead took on all this stuff, and I've got some pretty decent high value stuff, some office equipment type of things worth a couple $100 a piece. And um, so I was like, I'm gonna get those listed. and that's what I've done. I've just been working to get them listed. The office has taken a huge hit. It's just an absolute. I can kind of show you around here. It's an absolute disaster, and the living room's not much better. got I got my poly bags on the floor. I got papers on the floor there. I got baseball card listings, my label maker. I got toys up above that I haven't gotten listed yet. I got all sorts of things going on. All right. So with that, since everybody's asking about eBay, so let me give you the oh, you've been buying pallets and going, oh, that's like hopping in there, man. If you're doing that. Okay. So if you let me know how started you need to get. Like, do if you if you guys know absolutely nothing about eBay, let me know that. Um, but just let me know. Have you bought something on eBay before? Have you at least purchased something on eBay? Because I think that Bo Dragon, sorry, we are fresh out right now. Thanks for hanging out with us. But um, so if you've bought something on eBay, that's where I would begin from. Okay, and if you haven't, even if you haven't ever done that, nice 300 positive rating on eBay as a buyer and a seller. Okay, yeah, so that's awesome. So Tornado, you got some experience here too. So hop in with anything. If I'm kind of missing anything from the basic level, let me know. I will show you. Let's see what can I'm gonna make sure I can show you what I can show you here. I think most of this is good to show. I've shared it in other video stuff. All right, so I've been on eBay. You can see this here. I've been on eBay since 2001. My eBay account is older than probably some of you guys are. Um, I have 7,479 feedback, mostly positive in the last 12 months, except for one person. I forget what they complained about. Let's see. Let's see what they complained about. The item was refunded. Yeah. So yeah. So I remember. But anyway, that's it. It was one new. That was the neutral item was refunded. And oh yeah, I remember this guy was complaining about his bubble machine didn't work, even though he got it to work. Anyway, that's not bad. I mean, just in the last 12 months, 1,008 positives and one negative. I'm not too upset about that. So, anyway, let me get this all turned around here again. All right. So, I've been doing eBay for a long time. I was doing eBay even well, I was buying, I feel like I was buying in high school. I mean, for sure in college. I was selling. That was how I made my extra college money was selling stuff on eBay. So step one, sign up for an eBay account. Okay, I'm just going to kind of start from the very basics, the beginning. A lot of people who have not really looked into eBay think of eBay primarily as an auction site. I actually think that that's not really the case anymore. Auctions are really only the type of listing you would want to do for things that are super rare, where there is not a known market. If there's a known market, you basically just want to list it for the known market price and just let it sit until the right person comes along. But before you list anything on eBay, the very first thing that you need to do, in my personal opinion, is you need to get 10 positive feedbacks as a seller. Okay. If you start a brand new eBay account today and start selling on it, you will attract scammers galore if they see you have less than 10 feedback. I mean, you're still going to face some scammers that are going to come after you with like net under 100, but most of them are just looking for 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 feedback people. So if you've not, and you may want to have, in the end, you may kind of want to have a separate buying and selling account, especially if you're going to buy things on eBay to resell on eBay, like buy bulk lots to break down. You may want to have two separate accounts. But to start with, you can just use your current account or set up your whatever account it is. But before you start listing your stuff, go out and buy 10 things, and they can be really, really cheap. So you can do things like buy a dollar bill, buy buy a penny, buy a nickel. They're basically ways that you can complete really cheap purchases to get the feedback that you're trying to do. And most of these people who are selling those things understand that that's part of their game too. and they're really good with leaving feedback for that. So you want to get your account up to at least 10 positive feedback. Now you might already have that. If you have an old eBay account that you've bought on randomly through the years, you might already be at the 10 feedback. But I would say you basically the concept is here. You don't want to show people that you are brand new to eBay. Even if you are new to selling on eBay, you don't want everyone to know that. Okay, so having at least 10 feedback will cut out a bunch of the scammers that are going to target you if you instead have 0, 1, 2 positive feedback. So look, try to get to that 10. So that's very, very much step one. Okay. The next step that I would say is, yeah, there's Tornado, there you go, glow in the dark valve caps, 99 cents. There are thousands, probably tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of items that are 99 cents or less. So basically, you just look at it as you're investing in your business, and if you can find something that's useful to you as well, that's great. But I mean, I bet you can just find a penny. Let's just do this search here really quick. I'm bringing it back down. Um, and you want to look for the most part, you want to just for doing this, you just want to look for buy it now. So the cheapest anyone can offer anything as a best, as a buy it now best offer is 99 cents. So you can buy pennies for 99 cents. You could try to win them on an auction, but it's going to just take you a longer time. Okay, so let's say you just want to look for a dollar bill. Maybe you just want to, yeah. So you can buy dollar coins for $1.19. But there's just, I mean, just doesn't matter. Like I do lots of baseball cards, right? So I bet you there are, if that's your thing, like it just doesn't matter what your jive is. Yeah, you got tons of these. And most of them are like just absolute junk, like a 1990 tops card. It's worth like not even anything. It's like literally worth nothing. But if you just want a feedback, you just there's anything that you want, and if just think of whatever topic, whatever category or whatever, um, you find something that you want to do that you know you're going to get feedback. So yeah, um, and then when you complete that, good sellers will leave you a positive feedback for a quick payment, which you have to basically do anyway. And if you want to be sure, you can actually look at the seller, and when you click on their feedback here. So it's been lots of late nights staying up. All right, so then we'll want to look at this person. All right, I'm not picking on you here, Mr. Harvey. So, but I'll just show you guys how to do this. Here, let me go back a page because I don't think you saw that. So I clicked on this baseball card listing, right? It's not really worth anything. But you see the seller, he has 22,000 positive reviews, 99.7% positive, basically. So then when you click on his name, okay, it's gonna, in my case, I have it set up to open a new tab. Actually, I don't want to click on him. I want to click on, why won't it let me click on his feedback? Oh, here. Then I can click here on feedback. Okay, and then at the bottom, I'm going to click on see all feedback, and then I want to click on left for others. Okay, so, and I want to be looking to make sure that they're regularly leaving feedback. And as you can see here down this right column, all these feedback have been left within the past month. Yep, pay immediately. You can have everything set up pretty much automatic on your account. So, um, but this is the type of seller you want to buy something for 99 cents from, because they're going to leave you feedback. It's probably automated. Like all of my feedback that I leave as a seller is automated. And of course, make sure you pay right away too. So you got to get all your banking stuff set up. Tornado saying he likes using PayPal. I haven't even bought anything off of eBay here now for quite a few months. I don't even know if I bought anything off of eBay this calendar year. But yeah, I either had PayPal or a credit card with eBay payments set up in it. Okay, so you do that, and you want to find, and they got to be 10 different sellers. So don't order 10 things from one seller. You want to order 10 99-cent things from 10 different sellers. Or if there's actual things that you need from eBay, then you can make those purchases as well. But I'm just saying that if you're trying to do this as cheap as possible, you can get out of there with, $10 plus sales tax. There you go. Okay, got set up PayPal and eBay account. Awesome. Okay, so you get those two linked and connected to each other. So let's assume I'm going to jump forward now. Let's assume you have the 10 feedback. Maybe you have it from past purchases, or you're going to get there in the next couple weeks. How do you do a listing? Okay, first of all, don't list your super high value stuff first for the same reason of you want to make sure that you're not going to get scammed out of selling something really good. So start with your cheap stuff. And by cheap stuff, I list a fair amount, even still right now trying to clear out things in that $10 to $20 range. Okay. And I'm talking we can talk about shipping in a little bit, but total purchase price to the customer, 10 to 20 bucks. That's like cheap stuff. Now with sports cards, some of the sports cards I sell much cheaper than that. I don't do 99 cents because that is a mode, but that's a pure volume game. You got to be selling thousands of cards and getting people to buy multiples all the time. So I don't do that. But I do sell cards like for $2, $3, $4, and trying to get people to buy multiples as well. But for the average type of stuff that you have lying around the house, you can do that. Now, you also want to get yourself familiar with how shipping works, but you want to just find things and just start by looking around your house. What's this stuff? And so then you're going to want to just go on eBay and you're going to want to do a search. Okay, so we're going to do this here. I'll show you. Let's say I got this label maker here. I'm going to show this to you guys. Let's kind of do this live. This is how I would do it. This is how I have been doing this week. So I got this Dymo. Okay. Now you could just type in Dymo label maker. That's one way that you could do this. Now I'm not actually selling this, but if you do a little more research, you look here on the back. You got to learn to look for, especially on electronics tags, but it's the Label Manager 160. All right. So now I'm not set up to type this easily. So I'm going to hunt and peck here. So I'm going to look for the Dymo Label Manager 160. All right. So I type there. Did I type that right? Dymo Label Manager 160. Now I'm looking here. This one kind of looks like what I have, but this gives you a little bit of information. This is what's available. So what I'm seeing here is there's not a lot of these available for sale. Okay, that's the first thing I'm seeing. Okay, but that doesn't really give us the research we need. So you want to come down here and you want to look, make sure you can see this here, down here, sold items. So I want to see what these are actually selling for. And in this case, mine is used. So I'm going to also click the use button just because I want to filter out. I'm not comparing this to something new. All right, now you can sort a bunch of different ways. It depends on what I'm looking for. I like to often start with ended recently on the off chance that there's a spike or demand and interest in the thing. You maybe don't want to look at just any random sale from the last 3 or 4 months. You want to look at something somewhat current. Okay, but I'm going to kind of look here and see, okay, this is the price point of where these are selling. So someone listed at 30, free shipping, took a best offer. This one sold for 25, basically, free shipping. And this one was $19, and best offer was accepted. We don't know exactly how much. However, I noticed here, this person has a cord included, this person has cords included, plus a manual, this person has just the unit. So what you have available to sell kind of depends on the package that you have. Now, I just have just this. I don't think I have any paperwork to go with this label printer. Like I said, of course, I'm not actually selling this, just showing you how I would do this. So I would look right around this. I probably would list mine right around $19.95 and free shipping, or my base shipping for like stuff like this is like usually $6 or something like that. So I could go $13.95 plus $6 shipping. And how do you know whether to do free shipping or whatever? Well, the heavier the item is, the more likely you want to charge for shipping. I'm just getting an eBay offer now as I'm talking to you guys. So, and the more extreme you are, if you're in the middle of the country, so let's say you're in like Kansas or Missouri, you're kind of like right in the middle of the country, your shipping is going to be pretty much the same everywhere you go. But for me, I'm in Florida. And if I sell something, I'll turn this back around here. If I sell something to California that weighs 30 pounds or 40 pounds, that shipping is going to absolutely destroy me. Hey, Kat, how's it going? We're doing some eBay talking tonight. We're doing Ask Me Anything, but we have multiple eBay questions. So we're just kind of going over the basics of how to get started on eBay if you're looking to do that. So uh, for my super light stuff, my sports card stuff, it's all free shipping because it's going in a plain white envelope, and the shipping cost is the same whether it goes to Florida or it goes to Alaska. It's the same cost. But I was listing some heavy office equipment, 20, 30 pounds or more, and those I'm putting on calculated shipping, where depending on who buys it, will determine the amount of shipping it will cost and the amount of shipping they'll pay. So someone in California will pay a lot more for me to ship it to them than someone in Florida. So what you do with shipping, you've got to there's an ebb and a flow. You've got to learn, you got to work with it. You're probably gonna eat a shipping cost here or there every once in a while when you first start. Every once in a while, I still botch one where it's like, oh wow, that ended up just something I didn't measure right or weigh right. So the simplest thing to do if you're not sure of what to do is I would say if you're a pound or less, if your item is going to ship now, not just the actual weight of the item, but when it's fully bubble wrapped up, packaged, boxed, whatever you have to do with it. If that's going to be a pound or less, you're probably fine to do free shipping and just calculate that in your head. Once you start going over that pound, though, the dimensions, the cost of shipping can go up rather quickly. So I would recommend when you're just starting, again, just my opinion, mess around and find out what works with you. But if you're just starting, just use calculated shipping. And what you can do, how's it going, Kevin? How are you doing tonight? What you can do with that, with the calculated shipping, is you put in the actual shipping weight and dimensions of what you have, and then eBay will do all the work calculating the shipping for the buyer. And that whatever the buyer pays is going to be exactly what you pay. And then you're not feeling like you're ripping the buyer off by charging too much for shipping. And you're not feeling like you're getting ripped off if the buyer comes from Hawaii or Alaska or whatever, and you have to ship it across country like I would have to pay up for. So I would recommend doing that. Now, so what sort of tools? I guess maybe that would be another thing I would get into. And if you guys want, let me know, and I can make a really I've been thinking about this anyway, but I can make a much better real video, like a step-by-step tutorial. So if you guys would be interested in this, if you're getting value here and you'd like a more, like, here's the step-by-step approach, let me know, because I would love to do that. You're going to want some sort of basic postage scale, shipping scale. And again, how much that scale can weigh will depend on the types of items you're looking to do. So I do a lot with sports cards where the actual ounceage matters. There's a difference between 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounces, 4 ounces. Each one of those are different things. So Lisa, eBay is just it's synced in. The only time sometimes they get out of sync for a day or two when the post office raises their rates, which I think the post office raised some rates here in this last week, so there were little overpayments. But it's all synced up at this point. It's just what you do. And then eventually, as you grow as an eBay seller, what will happen is you'll actually get slight discounts on postage. So you'll pay less buying your postage through eBay than you would taking it directly to the post office. Now, if you want to, you can still go that old school way, but I would recommend you purchase your postage through eBay. It just cuts out one major step of having to upload the tracking. It potentially cuts out trips to the post office for you if you don't have to do it because you can just schedule pickups. So I have a couple of bigger items that aren't going to fit in our little community mailbox. So I'm going to actually schedule a pickup tonight. So that way they should, if all works well, I've not done it at this location, but they should come to my door to pick up the items that I have that won't fit in the mailbox. And so you can schedule pickups. Now again, some of these things are more reliable in other areas than there's some areas than others. I've had times where I've had them come pick up massive amounts of packages. We're talking 40, 50, 60 packages in a day. So I've had that. And then there's also times where they don't come. And then I have to haul 10, 15, 20 packages down to the post office with like 10 minutes to spare before they close. But if you can find out that whoever your mail person is, if they're reliable and they'll actually come and pick it up on a consistent basis, That's a really nice option to have, to not have to go drop things off at the post office. But what I will often do, our main post office that I drop off at closes at 5. A lot of times, if I'm going out for food delivery, I'm going out right around 5. So I'll just leave, 4:30, 4:40, drop my packages off at the post office, turn on my apps, and then go do food delivery. So I'll kind of integrate all that in there as well. Or if it's just small envelopes, then I just put it in our community mailbox that's out there because they fit the little slot. But there's not a big slot for packages that are where it's protected. You can kind of set them there, but then they're not really safe. So that's kind of the basic. Oh, somebody made me an offer on one of the cards, and then I don't know if the same person, but somebody else just bought that card. So just sold a $2 card, just like I was talking about as we're live on stream. So that will be another quick, easy little pack and chip here that I'll do before I go to bed. But essentially, that's the basics, and then you just get into some of your better practices, which is if you want to build. Now, again, everything on eBay depends on what you're trying to do. Are you just trying to clear out clutter? Then just list stuff as you have time. But if you want to, yeah, Caleb, absolutely. And like I said, ask away if you have more questions, and if you guys want like a full tutorial on this, I would love to do this. If you're just trying to sell random stuff like that's around your house, I wouldn't really worry about building up a stockpile. But if you want to build an actual like sustainable business with this, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to eventually get to the point where you're scheduling your listings out so one goes live every day. And you can do it automated, but I think even on the free, you can just um, do some sort of listing and save it in your draft, and then you just launch it every day at the same time. Like when you get home from work or when you wake up in the morning, you just launch your listing of the day. I have the eBay store, which I don't know exactly what that is a month. It's like $40 or something like that a month. So it gives me the option to do sales and stuff like that. How much does eBay take? Okay, so I don't work in set numbers. I just know, generally speaking, off the top of my head, eBay is going to take about 30%. Okay, now that's going to vary. That's going to vary de- depending on category, depending on price. The lower the item, the higher percentage they take, because there's a set amount that they take from everything. It says you've been on eBay since 2014. I wonder if it's tied to an old email address or something like that. If not, though, that's good. If that's how it appears to people who want to buy from you, then that's better. And if it looks like your account is 10 years old, then hopefully some people will believe it, even though you just set it up today. So 30 to 35% is generally what I figure. Now, again, you got to know within particular items and different things. However, okay, there you go. So 2014, so 10-year-old account. Let me know what your how many feedback it says you have too. So so no, that's good though. Like older accounts are just always, it's always better because it's just gonna scare away people who are gonna be like, oh, this is fresh meat. Let me scam them. And what would I do? Like if you're starting, and I recommend this across the board for anything, but if you're just starting, start with things that are around your house. Now, not everything is good for eBay. There are certain things that are better for Facebook Marketplace. Bulky, cheap stuff, Facebook Marketplace. Your lamps, Facebook Marketplace. Now, I'm not talking like antique collectible. I'm just talking about your random lamps. Okay, so I've got a mishmash of things. So I've got some really bulky, like huge things, like rolling carts and stuff like that. I'm not selling those on eBay. I'm putting those up on Facebook Marketplace. I've got bulky, heavy, but not super expensive stuff also that what people would want to pay for it on eBay would be basically the shipping. They just want it no cost plus shipping. And obviously then you can't make any money. So that type of thing, bulky, heavy, but not super expensive stuff, I go Facebook Marketplace for that. But bulky and heavy doesn't mean don't sell it. So I've got multiple $30, not $30, 30-pound plus items that I've been listing there. And a big impulse sealer that basically heat seals poly bags, so that's listing for a couple $100. And I've got some air pillow machines like that makes the bubble wrap for you. A couple of those machines I just brought home from the storage locker. I'm going to get listed probably tomorrow. on that. I have a tape dispenser. Okay, so these are things that are heavy, but they're also hundreds of dollars. Now, the only reason I'm comfortable selling them now is one, because I've sold stuff like that before and I've worked my way up, and two, because I have that more veteran account. Lucia, how's it going? How's it going? We're mostly talking eBay tonight, but open to any sort of questions. Yeah, so you sold a book the other day after shipping and eBay fees, only made $3. Yeah, absolutely. And that's part of the learning of this process. And honestly, sometimes it's just worth it. Not because of the money that you're getting out of it or not getting out of it, but because you get it out, you ship it, you have a good customer service experience for the customer, you get some feedback, and you go from there. I mean, with some of these baseball cards, like I just sold a baseball card for $2. I got it for free. Okay. So what am I going to make on that? 70, 80 cents. Um, probably after, the shipping is like 70 cents. eBay will take their base 30 cents plus another 60 cents, like whatever, to 50, 60 cents. Yeah, and that's the thing. So as you can compound what you're doing, that's what you do. But you know what? If you take that $3 and now you can go take that $3 and buy three more books that you can make $5 profit a piece on. Now you turn book one into $3, and then you turn that $3 into $15, and you can see how you can rapidly scale this depending on what you're wanting to do. Where do you find your rating? Okay, so if I'm on my eBay, I'm going to go to my eBay here. I'll bring this back around here. So let's just say I'm going to just go to ebay.com because that's where I would start from. So here, let me get this turned around. So I'm on ebay.com. All right, so we've got to close some of these other tabs that we were using here. All right, so just go to ebay.com, and then from here, go to my eBay, and then go down to selling. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Lucy, that's the thing. Like, don't make a big deal of it. Like, this is testing. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but if you could keep turning, what if you could turn, a dollar into 30 or $10 into 300? You wouldn't be complaining about that. That's huge margins. Yeah, that's perfect. Like, and that's a great learning place to go from there. So Lisa, then you come over here. When I go to selling, it brings me to this page, Seller Hub, and then that's my rating there. And then you can dig through all of the stuff, and you can see what people have said about you. I would still probably, before you start selling, get a couple of new feedback on there, a couple of new buyer feedback, even if you are over the 10. So hopefully that kind of gives you the rundown of what that would look like. So yeah, I mean, I know there's some people who make a killing on books, and you might not want to be the book farm that's selling 20,000 books a day at 50 cents or $1 profit a piece. But I'm sure if you get good at it and you get good at your scanning, if you can go out. So then just think of that one book, you may turn 10 cents into $3. Now you take that $3. I'll assume there's no tax just to make it simple. You can go buy 30 books. Oh, that's a bummer. But I mean, do you think in the next 30 books that you buy for 10 cents a piece, you can find at least one that's going to turn more than $3 profit? Like, probably. And it's what you do. You just keep scaling up and up and up and up. And there's really no limit. The only limit is, oh man, that's a bummer. Yeah, $8 book. I've had those times where, even like doing retail arbitrage for Amazon, and you see it and you see like the guy who got to the store and bought the clearance section out, just a few minutes before you. Like, I didn't get stuck in traffic for 5 minutes. Like, I had like $500 profit right there. So. But that's also what makes it. It's a thrill of the hunt and the thrill of the chase, and always have some extra cash on hand, because you just never know. So this video hasn't come out yet, but when I was doing Instacart the other day, and I don't have a lot of extra money to put into arbitrage, but I always try to keep a little something available, a couple $100. And I got a Costco, and they're like buying these iPads for $80. I want to say this was like 2 Saturdays ago. These are $200 iPads selling for $80. I don't know if it was nationwide or just our Costco. I have no idea what it was. And I looked it up and I comped them, and on eBay, I couldn't sell them on Amazon, but on eBay they're selling for $200, just Well, at $80, there's profit margin there, and so I had enough money to buy two of them. So I went to the store. I bought two for my Instacart customer who had ordered them, and then I bought two for me, and then I got those up on eBay, and I mean they sold within. I had them both sold within an hour. I did them as two separate listings, but yeah, they both sold within an hour for the full $200, and I didn't run all the math on them, but I think I made about $120, something like that. I think I made about $60 on each iPad. Buy them for 80, sell them for 200, make 60, $70 a piece, whatever the final math worked out as. So, Lucian, Costco is like super hit or miss. It's really hard though. Like when you start shifting from the book sale, thrift store, garage sale model, then you have to start putting out a lot more money. And you're still looking then for buying multiples. And in a lot of those cases, if you can't buy the whole stock, a lot of times it's not worth it because someone else is going to come and buy the whole stock out and undercut you on price anyway because they can deal with lower margins because they have more volume. So, yeah, I mean, if you're familiar with it, like you can, but it's like super hit or miss. Like, uh, you know, you can go to Costco every single day and nothing will be on sale, and then the next morning. But I would say the times I found the best Costco was just being like in the store right away. A lot of times our Costco has deals that they have just right at the door, first thing in the morning. They're just like, we just need to get all this stuff sold through. And I missed an opportunity last year. They had those, you guys are familiar with those Pokemon trick or treat card packs? Well, Costco had a whole bunch of them. And I want to say this was like a week before Halloween. They just threw them at 90% off. So they went from $3 or $30 to $3. And like they had a whole box of them, and I had no cash, and I just had no money to do anything with. And like I think they would have sold for like 20, $25 a piece, but they had like 30 of them. So I could have spent $100 and made 300, but I missed it. But they were just sitting out first thing in the morning. And for me, I'm usually at Costco first thing in the morning this time of year because I'm there for Costco drops. So that's kind of one of my things that I'm thinking of more is like, okay, I'm trying to be a little more aware of that because, yeah, I'm really trying to I have my first Amazon shipment, my first shipment going into Amazon. Hey, Jaeger, how's it going? My first shipment going into Amazon in months, maybe even this year. I have prepping. It's not a lot of stuff, but it is a couple of office equipment things that are a couple $100 a piece and a few random returns that I had laying around from old Amazon stuff, and then a dinosaur I found at a kids shop that we shop for our kids' clothes at, but it was sealed, and I bought it for 18. And when I bought it for 18, it was selling on Amazon for 90. But since I bought it, everyone on Amazon sold out, and it last sold at 140. So I'm very excited about that. So I've got it's not a huge shipment, but it could potentially unlock $500 or $600, and that's going to be my fourth quarter sourcing money for now. So yeah. So Lucian, it's this the scaling up is your profit margins are always going to be better. Thrift stores, garage sales, yard sales, book sales. That's it. Retail arbitrage though will allow you to scale up because most of the time your finds at your yard sales and your thrift sales, it's a random one-off. Now occasionally you'll find a collection of something or whatever, but it's usually like, hey, this is a really good book, or this calculator sells really well. Because what do people do with their graphing calculators after they graduate high school or college and they're not in the math profession, right? They're just going to sell it at a garage sale and get $5. But the person who really needs it will pay 100 for it because it's $150, $200 calculator new. So they'll do that. However, on the retail arbitrage side, if you can find something that you can buy for 10 and sell for 20 and make $5 profit on, you might be able to buy 100 of those if you bought all of the stores in your area. And if it's a consistent seller, you do that. So as you want to scale up this into a business, then you spend more time on you got to be able to source more products. So if you can't find more garage sales or thrift stores, then you can dabble in that, and so your margins will be lower, but your scalability will be higher. The other part is for retail arbitrage, it's a great way to get your foot in the water, dip your toe in the water, whatever that phrase is, for Amazon. So, um, Lucy and here's how I would handle it. I would You're going to get a premium for the best books in the best condition on Amazon. If I have an item and I can sell it in both places, 99 times out of 100 I send it to Amazon. Okay, 99 times out of 100. Oh, another this is in the next video, day 5 video. I had a lady who bought some dog food and then she didn't meet me for the order, so then I got stuck with like a 10.5 pound of dog food. Well, I just looked it up today because I still have it, and it wasn't Instacart, so there was no return. It was like Uber Eats, I think. Uber Eats or DoorDash, and so they just dispose of it. Well, I have this bag. But it's French bulldog puppy food, and it's like fancy pants dog food. And I was like, anyway, I'm ungated to sell that on Amazon, so I'm sending that into Amazon. My wife is sick of the smell of the dog food, so like I need to get it out of the house. So we don't have dog, but so that's going in this Amazon shipment too. Thankfully, it's going in its own thing. So yeah, I've had stuff like that where it's like, hey, you can from the one to the other, and so it's like, okay, now it's a couple times within the last couple weeks that I've had opportunities that have either shown up because of food and gig delivery work that can also work for those things. But you're out there. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you've ever done any of these shopping apps or shopping for any of these apps, you're already doing retail arbitrage. Okay. I think one of the craziest things that people don't really realize is buying items from the store to resell on Amazon or eBay versus buying items from the store to deliver for Instacart, DoorDash, or Uber Eats is essentially the same thing, but you're the middleman, right? And so in the Instacart world, you're just the middleman and you're just the delivery person. So you only get a small percentage of it, right? You're the FedEx driver, you're the UPS driver. But when you're for Amazon, you're the sourcer. You are essentially taking the role of you're not finding the customer, but you are taking the big chunk of the role of finding the product that people want ahead of time. What is it selling for? Let me see. Let me look up. I always list high when I send into Amazon because sometimes prices can change or whatever. Let me see. I'm gonna look up what I listed it as. It's probably about $5 or $10 too high. 54.95 is the Amazon listing, and then it says now Amazon's gonna destroy me on fees for it because it's so heavy. They're taking they're gonna at that price they would take like $22, but I mean I should clear about $30 for it. So, Lucian, here's what I would do. You for Amazon, if you're gonna actually send it into FBA, then um, you want to make sure the stuff going into FBA is the stuff that's going to sell really fast. Amazon doesn't want stuff sitting at their warehouses. They want stuff that as soon as it gets there, it's going to sell and it's in and out. They don't want to be a storage locker, okay? They just want to basically be a turnaround and a handoff point. Okay? So what I would say is your best of the best fast selling books I would send to Amazon. So what is that in the book world rank? I would say, well, for sure anything 10,000 or less ranked on Amazon in books. Um, yeah, so I'd have to say I'm not 100%. Let's see. Top 1% book ranking. See, I used to have Spotify, but I don't right now. But let me see. Let me see if I can find the sales rank. Oh, come on. Come on, clear the shelf. Lots of good stuff. All right, let's see. Books. It says top 1% in books is a million. Okay? Top 1%. So that if you have 10 random books, you know, no, 100 random books, the best selling of those that would be the top 1% would be a million. So anything under a million or should sell relatively fast in books on Amazon if you price it. Okay? So here, this is Clear the Shelf. This is just from their website. I'll just show you. There's lots of good stuff out there, and I wouldn't take any of these as gospel. They're just a good general rule of thumb. Okay, so I'll tell you with toys, I always like to be under 100,000 with toys. I figure if I have a toy, now it doesn't mean I won't send rare things in. I mean, I've had sales in this 200 to 500,000, which is like top 3 to 5%. Okay, But in general, if I'm just sourcing something new for toys, I know it's kind of hard. Let me so you see toys down here. The top 1% is 90,000. I round up to 100,000. So if you take that now to books, books is a much bigger category, so your percentages change. So your top 1% is just over a million. So if there's anything ranked like a million or less, and if you want to know this for any of these on Amazon, so this is cleartheshelf.com/Amazon sales rank chart, and I found it. What was the search that I found it by? I just did top 1% book ranking Amazon. So Clear the Shelf is a good, it's like Spotify, similar thing, gives you this. But interestingly enough, pop-ups come up here. Books isn't even the most. So it looks like the clothing, shoes, and jewelry. So the top 1% is anything in the 2.9, basically 3 million or less is top 1%. So you might think, oh, this is ranked 2.5 million. That doesn't sell. No, that's one of the fastest selling clothing items on Amazon. That's because clothing, we deal with so many different things. I got pop-ups galore on this thing. So, but this is a good thing no matter what area you're looking for. So if you want to, well, what's a good electronic? Well, go 250,000, right? I just rounded off roughly. And if you do it enough and you know you're going to focus probably on 3 to 5 main categories. So when I've done full on Amazon, I do toys and games, video games, electronics. I do end up doing a fair amount of baby too, because baby crosses over with toys and games a little bit. And then I would say that's probably 95%. And then everything else I sell is in probably the other 5%. It's random stuff. And so you look at it. But a good sales rank chart, and if you focus on the top 1%, that's going to sell relatively fast. Okay? So that's the Amazon breakdown. Ugh, having trouble getting all this stuff in here. So yeah, hopefully this is helping you guys. This is, I'm going to tell you guys, I've realized just, I know I haven't been out the last couple of days because of sick kid, like I started this whole thing with, but I'm realizing how much I really miss doing this, the sales and all the other stuff. And there's a lot more control. You have a lot more control versus randomly getting offers sent to your phone. And I don't foresee myself not doing food delivery anytime soon, but it's really reignited a passion in me to get my eBay and my Amazon going full blast as quickly as possible. And it's, for me, it's a double bonus because I'm clearing out stuff too. Like I'm trying to get rid of things. We just have too much stuff and we're trying to clear out stuff. Like I have no desires to be like a Facebook marketplace expert. No, I just use that to cast off that's like the last stop before I just take it to Goodwill or put it out in the trash myself. Like that's what Facebook is for me. But especially the Amazon, to me, it's fun. It's like it's this game of trying to figure out how to do all those things. But you can 100% with all this stuff scale to whatever you like. So Lisa, eBay is best for used, rare, unique, collectible. Okay, I would say used, rare, unique, collectible. Okay, that's what eBay is best for. Amazon is best for new, bulk. So like when you can make bulk purchases or like wholesale purchases, different things like that. New items. Now I do sell some used stuff, but it's got to be, for it to be worth it, it's got to be like expensive used stuff. Like I've got multiple label printers and stuff like that. So like Dymo, I'm sending in like 3 different Dymo printers here. That I find does pretty well on Amazon because you get a little bit of a premium over the eBay, and I found that they're just slightly more serious buyers. But I could never sell the vast majority of the baseball cards I sell. They wouldn't work. There's too many hoops, and it's too much work to get that stuff set up on Amazon. But if you're gonna give me $200 and tell me to go shopping at Target, I'm gonna go spend that money on stuff to buy for Amazon because it's all gonna be brand new. It's gonna be sealed, and if I find something that's good, I might be able to find 3 or 4 or 5 of things. And I mean, there were times when my Amazon was fully scaled. We would literally, if we found a chain of stores had something we wanted, I would my friend and I, we would just go driving around the state, and we'd fill a cargo van full, and we might fill a cargo van full, thousands of dollars of product, but it may only be 20 different items, and we just collected the same 20 items from every store, because then to process them all to Amazon, we just process them all the same way, label them all the same way, ship them into Amazon the same way, and then let them take care of all the fulfillment and stuff. So if you're just wanting to hobby sell, eBay. If you want to build a business, you can build it on eBay, but your infrastructure is going to have to be really tight to make it work. Like, you're going to have to know what you're doing. You can kind of almost learn on the way uh, on Amazon. Now, Amazon is much more serious. Amazon is like Amazon is like DoorDash. You're gonna get you're gonna get more orders, but the expectation is going to be higher. And eBay is kind of like Uber Eats. Like, as long as you're not intentionally like screwing things up, it's pretty hard to get kicked off, right? Okay, so that's the comparison that I would say. Or if you want to look retail store, Amazon is like Target, eBay is like Walmart. Okay, Amazon is Costco, eBay is Sam's Club. Um, Amazon is an estate sale. Okay, eBay is a flea market. That's kind of the difference. So they're open and they love to have new sellers, but you do need to make sure you really know the rules of Amazon really well before you hop in. And so as I'm putting together stuff for Amazon, like I'm processing everything very slow there, because you don't want to make mistakes on Amazon. On eBay, it's like, oh, I made a mistake, not a big deal. like it's just one of those things that's just not as big of a deal. So if you're just looking to get rid of the junk in your house, eBay. eBay's gonna, like, it's probably not even worth setting up the Amazon if all you're looking to do is a hobby clearance sale of your stuff. Of, your nicer, better stuff, but your stuff. If on the other hand you want to, you can build a business on eBay. I'm not trying to disparage that, but it's much more of a hands-on and going out there and going to garage sales and flea markets and finding your sources and doing that. If on the other hand you want to just be able to go and start doing pallets and wholesale, or even just high scale retail arbitrage, and you don't want to be shipping 50 items a day, Amazon's the way to go. So, and I mean, you can still fulfill your own orders on Amazon. And I know eBay worked on a you send it to them and they'll list it and fulfill it for you for a while, but I think that kind of died. I didn't hear much about it. So um, that's where I would say I would always recommend, if you have no e-commerce sales experience, I would just start on eBay. It's the easiest platform to learn, even after all these years. Easiest platform to learn. Consistently the most forgiving, I think, to new sellers. I mean, there are scam artists out there, so you got to be careful. But there's also so much good material out there. There's so many great YouTube videos and even on the eBay website tutorials of different things. So um, I'll give a little word on the eBay side. Fixed price it's better to just do that. Do your research, find out what something is worth, put it on fixed price. If you have done all your research, you have no idea what something is worth, but you have an inkling that maybe there's something there, something's valuable or significant, and you've exhausted all your resources, then that's might be when you would start an auction. Start it at the price that you would be absolutely 100% okay with it if it's sold at that price, and then anything above that is great. Don't start your auctions at 99 cents. It doesn't work anymore, or a penny. It doesn't work anymore. Okay, I think that maybe worked 20 years ago, 15 years ago, but now it doesn't work. Um, it's better to just, if you're going to run an auction, and I would only run an auction for things, again, rare, valuable, or if you've got just bulk, lots of things. I mean, so some of my baseball cards, I'm lotting them up, but if they don't sell at fixed price, then I'm going to make even bigger lots of cards, and then I'm probably just going to throw them on an auction and just be like $5 plus shipping and let it go, because I just want them gone. But I'm still a couple of steps away from that. I might do that with some of my other things, but you're going to get a fraction of the value most of the time if you do auctions, because people hunt down auctions to find good deals that then they can go back and sell on eBay. So Well, this ended up being a really fun conversation. Lots of eBay, a little bit of Amazon, and everything else. Um, so if anybody else has anything else to do, we usually do what are you drinking, but I don't even have a drink. The only liquid I have in here is vinegar water for cleaning different things that I've been listing on eBay. So that's I'm not drinking that, but that's what I have in here tonight. Um, I haven't even been out of the house other than to go to the storage locker today for like the last 3 days. So I got my first sip cup in 3 days, and that lemonade tastes really good when you haven't had it for like 4 days. So that's my. I did have a lemonade sip cup today, but other than that, it's just been water for the last 3 days for me. So anyway, we've got sometime in the next couple of days. Hopefully, I'll get the day 5. I believe day 5 is the next one in the September challenge that we have. There'll be a point where we're gonna hit a gap, and there's gonna be no videos because like the stuff encompassing was it Sunday on? I think I've been with sick kids since Sunday, so I didn't even go out on Sunday this week. So the last day I've actually delivered, I think, was Saturday. I might be going out tomorrow, and then I will be out all day Friday. There's no school Friday, and then so I'll be out all day Friday, out all day Saturday. But that means tomorrow is my day to get my Amazon shipment done. I'm very excited to get that out the door. It's only like 10 items. But like I said, it's potentially like $500 if everything sells, which then that becomes my seed money for flipping in the fourth quarter. So hopefully I can turn that over a couple of times and go into next year with a couple $1,000 that can keep building my Amazon store back up again. So that is what I'm going for. Yeah, that lemonade is good. I do like the blueberry lavender lemonade, but I find sometimes it's like not good anymore. Like it's going fermented or whatever. So, but thank you guys. Thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. Like I said, I just needed a more of a formal night because it's been chaotic and I'm going to bed. I was planning on staying up, but there's an off chance that I will be out delivering in the morning. Um, but it's most likely that I'm going to be staying home one more day with a sick kid tomorrow. So I'm just going to do that because I've been tired. So appreciate you guys. Yeah, we got videos coming soon and all the normal good stuff. So anyway, I will talk to you guys soon. I'm going to maybe try to do a live ride along at some point this weekend too. So keep your eyes open for that. Maybe like Saturday night or something like that. So awesome. See you guys later.